The opinions expressed on this program are those of the program hosts and guests and are not necessarily those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time for Martin County Movers and Shakers. And now, here's your host.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Martin County Movers and Shakers, brought to you by White Glove Moving and Storage. I'm Anna Valencia Tillery, your happy hostess with the mostest. We are not far off from Father's Day, folks, and this is the time of year where folks say, we're considering a change. We might be looking to relocate, whether it's locally or nationwide as an interstate agent with Beacons Van Lines. Please consider mentioning White Glove Moving and Storage to your friends, family, neighbors, colleagues, and others, as we love to be able to help with the heavy lifting, stairs and elevators, so you don't have to. In the studio today, I have a friend that circles back years since I came onto the moving industry scene. He is an incredible now broker owner of his own real estate enterprise. Yes. And he has been instrumental in a number of different community involvement projects. Mr. Vic Miskanik is here of Vic's Picks Realty. Welcome, my friend.
Thank you.
I have to say that when you and I first met, you had hair that was of a different length. It involved a ponytail and it was super fun. Yet you recently got rid of that in an effort to help support a terrific cause, right?
We did. I did. Yep.
Yeah. Yes. Although you let
with the help of my wife,
right? You let her do some snipping. That's for sure. Tell us a little bit about that and some of your passions for a number of the local charities here throughout the Treasure Coast.
Well, we're always involved in the community. And anyway, my wife wanted my haircut for a couple of years. So I said, well, if you raise some money for a charity, I would consider doing it. And so we found a local guy who needed a heart transplant. He's on the waiting list. And obviously that's a very expensive procedure.
Yes.
So I told him if they would raise $2,500, I would shave my head New Year's Eve. Well, they raised over $4,500. And
Wow.
to say the least, they shaved my head from probably being down halfway down my back to completely bald.
It was, but it's growing back nicely, my friend.
It is, and Veronica's got some kind of haircut planned already. You know how that goes.
Of course. I love myself a leading Latin lady, that's for certain. Now, let's delve in a little bit about your background, because realtors are not hard to find in the area. And yet you and Veronica bring a couple of things to the table that is far specialized in your areas of expertise. Can you share that with our listeners, please?
Well, I've been in the development real estate business since 1988, and I actually started out in the development business. So I was a project manager, ran sales and construction for various golf course communities throughout Florida. And then I got transferred over here to Hope Sound to finish out Osprey Cove.
Oh.
So that's how I ended up over here from Naples. Love the Martin County area because it's very similar to the Naples area where we came from, but Martin County still has that small town feel where Naples has grown up quite a bit.
That's very true. Yeah. And I noticed that you also have a lot of experience in the commercial side of real estate.
Yeah, that's correct. So when the market started tanking, the company I was working with was a major commercial developer. So we finished out Osprey Cove, and next thing I know, I'm in the commercial end of it and enjoy it very much, that and the residential.
I like that so much. And when you and I first met, you were part of a different real estate family. Yet just recently, you and Veronica went out on your own. This is really exciting.
It is real exciting, and sort of happened because the state changed the way that we could market our team, and we would have to change all of our materials. So we figured it's a great time to go ahead and change our marketing and become Vic's Picks Realty, because everybody knew us as that anyway and not the formal name.
And all too often, because Veronica and I are in some women's networking together, I hear, why get just one agent when you can have a team?
That's correct. We have several administrative assistants, and what happens is if you need answers, you're not waiting for a day or two. We usually get back with you in an hour, and if I can't do it, Veronica can do it, or one of our other associates can do it. So customer service is where we take pride in.
And you also have a strong alliance with working and catering to first responders.
Yes, we do. We have special programs for any first responder, anybody that's been in the military, nurses, policemen, et cetera, et cetera. It varies case by case depending on their needs, but yeah, we do have special programs for them.
Really? And what does some of that look like? Because I've noticed that is, and I should really say that the spectrum of what's considered a first responder has broadened, which is exciting because in this particular area, there is a shortage. And so it does help to incentivize folks to pursue careers in that. What are some of those incentives that you've seen over the years?
Well, we also include educators in the first responder aspect of it.
Right.
And
teachers are so important.
so depending on your situation, we could pay a portion of your closing costs. There's some instances where we pay for your appraisal and other instances where we pay for your construction inspection.
Really?
Or home inspection.
That's wonderful. And now that you all are on your own, you've been able to come up with some new alliances, some new trusted partners, which is a really valid resource for your buyers and for your sellers. If you had to pick a sweet spot, if you will, I'm clearly taking golf lessons for folks that are wondering. Yes, I've learned that term, sweet spot. Where would you say that you all focus primarily in the residential market?
Pretty much anywhere in the Treasure Coast, mostly in Martin County and St. Lucie County.
Okay. And I do believe that you have some numbers here today to share with us.
I do. The market seems to be changing a little bit.
Oh, really? Do tell.
And, we have got an election year coming up in 2020, which
is so not far away.
And so you never know because people get a little skittish about what's going to happen, what's going to happen. So we've seen a little bit of a market correction here in the last couple of months. Some sales are up, but inventory's up at the same time. Sales prices are up a little bit, but not generally in the double digits they've been in the last couple of years.
Really? Okay.
And I base it on what I call the affordability index. That's where the wages haven't increased in relationship to house prices.
Oh.
So what happened is a lot of people that could afford the house 3 years ago, that was, let's just take an example, at $100,000, that same house is $190 now, and that takes a lot of people out of the market. So whether it be $300 to $350, et cetera.
Okay, that's interesting. And are you seeing that same sort of trend in the commercial side of things?
Not so much right now. Not so much. The commercial market still seems to be pretty strong.
Which is exciting because you want folks to be able to reinvest, create those new businesses, which ultimately creates the jobs, and it just helps to propel our local economy.
That is correct.
Let's talk about some of your hobbies because I know you as a bit of a car guy.
This is true.
This is true. There goes the big smile.
Yeah.
Let's delve a little deeper. I've seen you at a number of car shows. I know you support a number of them, which ultimately supports a variety of charities. I believe you and Veronica have a couple yourself. Tell us more.
Well, I just sold one, but I do have a
1970
El Camino, and for one of our charities last year, we did put on a car show for another person that needed some money for an illness. And we probably had about 50 to 60 cars there.
Oh, nice.
Had a live band. And that's actually how we found the gentleman that needed a heart transplant. His brother, who plays for Resonate, was the lead singer, and he donated his time to our charity. So that's how that all came about.
Oh, what a nice correlation. And in a community like this, it just sort of happens that way. Somebody always knows somebody, and we can get together over live music and cheer, and it just pays it forward.
Yep. And we all had a great time.
And you also are really good at hosting soirees for your past customers.
Yeah, we do something a little unique. If you buy a home from us, we throw a housewarming party for you. We cater it. We invite your friends and family, and you have to do nothing but except give us the names, and we invite it, and we have it at your house, and you get to have a nice housewarming party for absolutely no cost.
Oh my goodness, that is a terrific. Like, I'm incentivized right now. I love a good party, and I potentially would love to not have to do any of the logistics behind it. Vic, that's really smart. As a matter of fact, White Glove Moving and Storage has been able to help a number of your clients in the relocation process with as much or as little help as that they need. In addition, we love hosting events as well. And not too long ago, we were able to host an event that I needed entertainment. And Veronica had suggested somebody that you all have utilized in the past in potentially conjunction with these parties where you're able to like do something really cool for the homeowners, which I thought was impressive. Do you know who I'm talking about? The fire spinner dude.
Oh,
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Where
that's
he
right.
can do graphics of like the new home and like pictures of the family. I mean, that is just so custom and so awesome.
yeah, he did our logo at the last one. So as he was doing it, our
Really?
logo was in there, and it said, happy housewarming, congratulations on your new home. That was pretty cool.
That's way cool. And that's something super different. It stands out from the pack for sure. So now that you have your own brokerage, is there a new website? Is there new collateral? Is there stuff that our listeners should be checking out online?
Well, you can go to our Facebook page, Vix Picks Realty, and that'll lead you to everything that you need.
Okay. And we had touched on the fact that we're just about, is it this weekend? No, it's next week. No, it's this weekend. Father's Day is super coming up quick. Oh my goodness. You're a dad.
I am. I have 3 children from 17 to 32.
Oh, really? That is news to me. I love it. I've met at least one daughter and she is just beautiful.
Alicia, that's my
Yeah.
youngest. She was going to be a senior a
She's
senior at South Fork this year.
Oh my goodness, time flies when we're having fun.
Absolutely.
Isn't that great? So as a dad that's a car guy and a real estate expert aficionado, what's on your Father's Day wish list?
A Maserati.
Just something simple, Veronica, honey. Just something simple. Just a little Maserati. Not a big deal. It goes really great next to the El Camino in the driveway. And because you all live here in Martin County, right?
This is true.
If you could set up a scenario for clients that are coming, they're looking to relocate from out of state. Of course, you've already touched base with White Glove Moving and Storage. You know that we're going to help them facilitate the move when the time is right. If you could set up a day for them that included great sightseeing, yummy drinks and food, how would you picture their day? Where would you recommend them going? I feel like that's always good insight as a realtor to be able to provide to your clients.
Well, we have so many great restaurants in the area. It's hard to tell exactly which one, but a lot of our natural beauty here is something to really take advantage of. We have the Savannah State Preserve. We have the Blowing Rocks in Jupiter. We have all of our beaches are great.
Oh, yeah.
And just the town in general. And the downtown Stewart area is wonderful. You got several great restaurants down there. Everybody that's visiting ought to take a stroll down there. We have a lot of great local businesses. Jensen Beach has a great downtown, lots to do there. And Port St. Lucie has a lot to do. If you're looking for things to do and not be bored, the Treasure Coast is definitely for you.
I would concur with that wholeheartedly. In addition, I know that you and I are both active in the Realtors Associations, not just of Martin County, but also of St. Lucie, and with the community outreach there. We have an upcoming golf tournament on June 21st that will help to supplement the funding for the affordable housing.
Which we need here because, we still have our unemployment's very low in the Treasure Coast, so which means most of your local businesses are looking for help. And there again, we need affordable housing so that we can bring in the people to support our community.
That is really important. You're absolutely right. And many of those jobs are somehow correlated with the tourism industry, which I feel like years ago when I came to the area 16 years ago, was far more seasonal than what it is now. Have you experienced that same thought process where sure you can tell a bit of a difference, but it feels like more folks are staying year round and just doing bits of travel rather than being gone for many months at a time?
Yeah, that's definitely true. We get a lot of baby boomers retiring from up north. We get a lot of people from the Northeast, and the colder it gets up there, which they had a really cold winter, they decide to stay here way longer after Easter. And then when they buy, they might be on a year or two plan where they decide to come down here and retire full time. Some people complain about the tourists in the winter, but, basically our community survives on the tourists. And, I'm born and raised in Florida and I still love them.
I agree. They play a huge role in helping to, in theory, underwrite what we all get to enjoy on the daily. I love the fact that a number of the local restaurants and various venues, including the aquariums and different parks, provide incentives and discounts to year-long residents to get us in these summer months to come out, experience what they have to offer, maybe revel in their central air, those types of things, which is really great to do with the kids when school's out, a session.
And what's great about a lot of the businesses in the summer, they do cater to us locals. So you'll find a lot more happy hours, a lot more 2-for-1 kind of things, which is really nice. And of course, they need the business, but I also think sort of a little appreciation for the locals for what they do during the winter months.
That really, because who needs parking? We love walking.
That's right.
We love walking the distance to wherever we want to go. It's fantastic. I tell you, just fantastic. Let's talk about some of the things that you post on your VIX Picks Facebook page. Can we find new listings there?
You can find new listings, but we also have a community section that comes out every day. So it lets you know what events are going on in the Treasure Coast area. So if you're looking for something to do, you can always go to our Facebook page and find the various different things.
Oh, that's great. And are there a number of organizations that you and Veronica are members of or active with that you would like to share with our listeners?
Well, we both met with the Toastmasters.
Oh, really?
That's how we met.
Oh, cute.
8 years ago. So we've been active in that, and we're active in a lot of other different things.
Yeah. Are you
a lot of in our community?
That's very important. Chambers and other organizations that certainly make a big impact. And I know that Toastmasters stresses public speaking.
That's correct.
Right? Mm-hmm. And Veronica is a bit of a dancer too. I've seen her moves.
Yeah, that was one of the requisites. I had to learn how to salsa dance. So for a gringo to learn how to salsa dance, that's pretty tough.
Right? That's true love there, folks. That is true love. And obviously, it's important for any relationship to be able to enjoy life together. You all get to do some travel. Where are some of your favorite places where you've been together?
Well, we were in Greece last year. That was a lot of fun.
Was that delicious too?
Oh, that was great. That was great. And we actually just came back from Punta Cana yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting, especially after you read all the negative stuff.
So it surpassed your expectations.
It was nice. We stayed on the resort, so it was nice. A well-deserved break.
Did you do a lot of salsa dancing?
We did.
Aha! And putting those moves to the test.
That's right.
I like it. I like it a lot. So now that you are under your own brokerage, what are some of the things that you're most excited about as you launch into this summer season?
Well, what's great about it is being a smaller office, we can still offer you the great service we used to give you, but now we have more flexibility to do things that a corporate umbrella may not allow you to do.
Ah, that's
and I believe that we're probably more accessible, and being a boutique type of office, we definitely have a lot more to offer.
Yeah.
And we can spend more time with our clients at the same time.
You know what I've always wondered, and you might be able to put some perspective in this for me. And I know we're going to have a number of listeners in the summer months that are looking to maybe upsize, downsize, looking for that change of venue in their living situation. It's a good time to do it when kids are out of school, or even if kids aren't even a factor. This is just, typically prices fluctuate in the summer months when the demand is a little less, when the seasonal people aren't present. How many homes on average do people look at before they make a commitment?
That really depends. I've shown people 3 houses and I've shown people 15 houses.
Really?
So it really all depends on what their price range and what their expectations are. Everybody's looking for that great bargain. But generally, I'd say probably on the average 3 to 6 homes.
That seems reasonable. and not so crazy. And do we have, based on some of the numbers that you have there in front of you, what are like some of the trends right now? How long in Martin County in particular are houses on the market? If folks are listening and thinking, gosh, this fall I might be ready to list our home, what are some of the things that they can expect, Vic?
Well, what we've been seeing across the Treasure Coast right now is that inventory is up. So when inventory is up and demand's down, prices have a tendency to come down.
Okay.
Everybody still has the opinion that we're rising in double digits, which isn't quite true. Martin County's staying pretty strong, but you can see where the price points from last year have gone substantially. Prices are up. I mean, sales are up, but prices are down.
Interesting.
And that would probably explain why sales are up, because as the prices come down, more people jump into the market.
Right. They're excited about those attractive numbers.
And your inventory's up. Used to be we could sell stuff in 30 to 60 days, and now we're probably out 4.5 to 6 months.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's just sort of an average on the
Just an
Treasure Coast.
average,
It
yeah.
varies between county, but that would be a good basis to go upon. So it might be a good time to sell. 2019, they're figuring it still to be a pretty strong year, but 2020, like I said, with an election year coming up, people tend to get a little gun shy about pulling the trigger.
And I could understand that slight hesitation. All the more reason to set up. Is it a complimentary consultation to be able to sit with you all and figure out a good game plan?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And what's the best way for folks to be able to reach you? Say they are not Facebook savvy. Say they aren't going to go to Vic's Picks Realty Facebook page. What's a good way to get in touch with you and Veronica?
Probably the best way would be call Veronica.
Smart man.
Yeah, that's right. She'll handle all that part. And her number is 772-236-4484. And the good part about Veronica is she's bilingual. She speaks fluent Spanish and fluent English, so we can help both.
Oh, that's important.
And what we find is right now, because prices in the Dade, Broward area are out of control, we find a lot of people are selling there and coming up in this area and buying houses.
I see that as a huge trend too, as White Glove Moving and Storage. A number of folks are looking for less congestion, a little more land, just an ability to really breathe easy. And they're coming up and they're really attracted by the prices and the opportunities here throughout the Treasure Coast. Vic, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast today. Thank you for your service to the community. I'm so happy for you and Veronica. Congratulations on your new brokerage. We wish you all of the success of Vic's Picks Realty. And once upon a time, you were even the president of the Women's Council here in Martin County, right?
That I was. In 2010, I was the president of the Women's Council of Realty. I got talked into it, and I have to say that was probably one of my best learning experiences that I've ever had in the real estate development industry. It was powerful.
Really? That's good to know. I know as White Glove Moving and Storage, we love being a trusted strategic partner with White Glove Moving and Storage. It really is a fantastic group. Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you, Anna, that we've been through several different movers. And other people have used them. And my wife has said that every time something comes off your truck, very little, she said, if anything, is ever messed up, where we can't say that about some of the other movers in town.
Well, thank you, Vic. We take a lot of pride in what we do. We love being community partners. Vic, thank you again for coming on the broadcast. If you know of anyone moving, don't hesitate to mention White Glove. I'm Anna Valencia Tillery. Until next week, folks. Cheers.